Okay, sit down. Because what I'm about to tell you is not some rumor off a gossip blog. It's coming straight from leaked FBI surveillance files. Yes, the kind they don't want the public to see. And guess who's smack in the middle of it all? Meghan Markle. This isn't just another headline about drama with the royals. This is next level. Meghan was reportedly under surveillance for weeks, and nobody outside a handful of officials knew. And it all blew up because of a school file breach. It started quiet, as these things always do. Just a few odd login attempts on the Kensington Palace school records system, specifically targeting, wait for it, Princess Charlotte's private academic file. Let me say that again. Someone was digging around in a 9-year-old's school records, her schedule, her teachers, even which exits she used to leave school. And it wasn't random, it was targeted. Over and over, the same folder was pinged. Now here's where things get chilling. Cyber analysts flagged the activity and took it straight to the Royal Protection Division. They escalated it, not to the public, not to the press, but behind closed doors. MI5, FBI, all hands on deck. Then the connection, an email address linked to one of Meghan's former staffers, someone who just so happened to be in London recently for media meetings. Are you seeing the pattern? And it doesn't stop. Just one day after the breach, Meghan's assistant was spotted at a cozy cafe right across from, wait for it, a cybersecurity firm, one that used to handle tabloid leak suppression. You cannot make this stuff up. A tweet from someone who clearly had inside access exploded. This school breach has MI6, FBI, and Meghan's circle written all over it. Everyone thought it was a conspiracy theory until it wasn't. That's when the FBI snapped into action. They didn't just monitor Meghan's phone. Oh no, they went full-scale, burner phones, encrypted apps, Archwell Slack channels, Wi-Fi signals, even her home's AI voice data. This wasn't curiosity. It was national security surveillance. And let's talk about what they found. According to anonymous insiders, Charlotte's school breach was just the beginning. Other royal documents were accessed too: charity logistics, Kate's personal schedule, even travel plans. The pattern? All leading back to Meghan's digital sphere. One intelligence source said, this wasn't someone snooping. It was orchestrated. They were looking for logistics, and it narrowed down to the children. The UK even deployed its cyber threat response team, the one they use in terrorism cases, to help investigate. Think about that. That's how seriously they took this. The phrase US-based royal associate appeared over 20 times in the redacted brief. They wouldn't say Meghan's name, but come on, everyone knew. By now, the FBI had surveillance across every single device linked to Meghan and Harry's Montecito estate. Every single one. And then came the twist nobody saw coming. A whistleblower, yes, again, leaked that the FBI was now recording voice audio from Meghan's property using legal provisions tied to espionage risk. Espionage. Let that sink in. One analyst described what they heard as deeply troubling. Another called it size, a security red flag wrapped in PR language. Apparently, Meghan was caught discussing damage control if things leak and referencing a mysterious file that no one can ever trace. Soon after, the FBI sent a formal request to British intelligence. Had Meghan ever been authorized to access sensitive information involving the royal kids? The answer? A hard no. That's when it escalated. By July 4th, UK security officials compiled a document called Sovereign Minors Risk Assessment External Access. And you guessed it, Meghan was reportedly the first name redacted. And now, it gets even darker. One of Meghan's former team members flipped. They submitted digital logs showing her phone had real-time access to royal schedules back in May. The whispers said it, but now the documents proved it. Meanwhile, Meghan started making daily unlogged phone calls to a political strategist based in DC, someone known for handling political crisis campaigns. Why? What was she preparing for? One line from the transcripts leaked. Angry. If they come for me, I have everything saved. If they want war, we give them the truth. What truth? What was she holding on to? And who else was involved? By now, the codename Operation Mindvault, Phase 2, Subject Sussex M was officially circulating through British intelligence. The FBI and MI6 were both pulling files. It was official. Meghan Markle was no longer a royal headache. She was a security threat. In that report were 3 chilling details. Meghan's encrypted calls spiked the night before Charlotte's records were breached. Data was being sent to an unverified IP address in Berlin, previously flagged in a diplomatic leak. Audio logs captured Meghan talking about thoughtful, resetting the narrative before Charlotte becomes untouchable. What does that even mean? Why target a child? The phrase untouchable was enough to trigger panic in the intelligence community. It suggested that Charlotte, as the future face of the monarchy, wasn't just a public figure, she was being monitored strategically. MI6 launched Operation Ivy. Meghan's name appeared in 3 official security documents under under the codename Subject M1. No more whispers, no more speculation. It was real. And Meghan, silent. Not a statement, not a lawyer's denial, not even a social media post, just total silence. And that silence screamed louder than any PR spin could. Meanwhile, the FBI's audio surveillance picked up something even more damning. It's done. I need plausible distance. Plausible distance? This wasn't some innocent accident. It was intentional, calculated. Inside Buckingham Palace, the tension was boiling. Kate, usually calm and composed, was seen walking into a closed-door security meeting. Jaw tight, eyes sharp. A royal insider said, thoughtful, she's not just protecting the crown anymore. She's protecting her daughter. And if it means exposing Meghan, she'll do it. And then, the biggest twist yet. Just when it felt like the palace was finally regaining control of the chaos, a junior cyber contractor, yes, yet another whistleblower, leaked the FBI's internal report to a Brussels-based journalist. 17 pages, title, Subject M1, Timeline of Proximity Events and Anomaly Triggers. It wasn't supposed to be public, but it got out. And once it did, there was no turning back. The report tracked Meghan's every digital move during the breach and for 2 full weeks afterward. The details? Insane. June 18th, Meghan was geotagged outside a restricted telecom facility in Virginia for 19 minutes. No appointment, no entry logs. Why was she there? Even more damning, a burner phone transcript captured just 16 hours after Charlotte's school file was accessed. The message read, "It's done. I need plausible distance." People went ballistic. Reddit, Twitter, Telegram, the conspiracy forums lit up like fireworks. And then the quote that rocked everything. Subject M1 continues pattern of persona cloaking. Elevated concern, target desensitization strategy toward royal minors. Let me break that down. They're saying Meghan was trying to normalize seeing Charlotte in the media, to desensitize the public, so when bigger things leaked, nobody would panic. Who does that? The public outrage hit boiling point. Still, Buckingham Palace stayed dead silent, but Meghan, she was spotted, head down, surrounded by private security, climbing into a black SUV in Montecito. Not a single word. The silence was deafening. But behind closed doors, the fire was raging. MI6 prepared a diplomatic briefing for the FBI. The reason? Meghan Markle was now categorized under a terrifying new label, cross-domain influence risk. Not gossip, not royal drama, a national threat. Inside the palace, the whispers turned deadly serious. A deleted Reddit post from a former media consultant dropped this bombshell. Meghan's team staged innocent charity moves, then leaked targeted stories to make Kate look like a bad mother. The charity overlaps, the parenting criticisms, all part of a long-term media play. And the school breach? That was the climax. A royal insider summed it up. Thoughtful state, the breach wasn't an accident. It was an escalation. Meanwhile, Kate was done staying quiet. Sources said she started compiling her own private log. Every sketchy Presley, every photo op coincidence, every shadow that pointed back to Meghan. She wasn't just protecting Charlotte anymore. She was building a case. And just when people thought it couldn't get worse, it did. The Daily Mail dropped a bomb. Meghan's personal assistant's inbox had been cracked open by FBI digital forensics. And what they found? An email with the subject line, "Intercept confirmed." Awaiting second login access. Attached was another message from a burner account. Access route to Charlotte's school archives approved. Timeline sensitive. Discretion critical. Let that sink in. The IP address traced back to a private LA rental, a place tied to Meghan's old Spotify team days. And the FBI confirmed the metadata. They didn't say Meghan sent it, but they didn't deny she knew about it either. The assistant? She was scheduled to testify before Parliament within 48 hours. Except, hours after the leak, she was placed in protective custody by MI6. She flipped. One Parliament aide told Reuters, surprised her cooperation was unexpected. But it opened doors. Then Meghan's lawyers released the coldest, most corporate statement. Annoyed, our client denies all malicious intent. We will not dignify anonymous leaks with a response. Nobody bought it. By now, even US media had flipped. A CNN panelist said bluntly, "Serious, this isn't drama. This is bordering on criminal strategy. Surveillance, hacking, school records, concerned this is national security." And then, the darkest revelation yet, a new memo leaked from UK intelligence. Title? Operation Ivy, Reactivation. Sources hinted that Operation Ivy was the original codename for Meghan's monitoring file. But now, the name's revival suggested something more dangerous. She was no longer just a PR liability. She was being treated as a domestic threat to state stability. The palace was in full lockdown mode. Prince William privately requested an emergency session with the Prime Minister, and the quote he allegedly gave sent chills through Parliament. Determined this is no longer family drama. Angry, this is someone trying to undermine the system. From the inside, across the Atlantic, across the ocean, Meghan was seen leaving her estate from a hidden driveway, shielded by umbrellas, flanked by unfamiliar security, not her regular team. Later reports confirmed they were tied to an ex-NSA contractor. What was she preparing for? Meanwhile, Kate made her scheduled UN video speech. Calm, flawless. But the online chatter couldn't be silenced. One viral tweet read, "Annoyed. Meghan lost the game. The Crown didn't fight back. They handed the receipts to the FBI." And just like that, it wasn't just royal drama anymore. It was about citizenship, international law, and espionage. Even Parliament started whispering about reviewing Meghan's UK citizenship status. And Harry? Completely silent. Except for one odd moment, paparazzi caught him entering a private LA security firm, looking shaken, holding a folder stamped with the royal crest. Was he turning on Meghan? Back in London, internal alarms rang louder. A transcript leaked between two Parliament aides read, "She tried to plant the narrative before the evidence got out, but the school access logs don't lie. We're not dealing with PR, we're dealing with espionage." The word espionage trended for hours. And then one final gut punch. A leaked FBI field note dated June 26th, stamped with a joint UK-US seal, officially listed Meghan Markle as a person of adjacent interest in digital proximity intrusions affecting royal minors. No more maybes, no more speculation. It was official. Kate, reportedly heartbroken but unwavering, told her closest aide, determined, "I never wanted this to become war. But protecting Charlotte isn't political, it's primal." And then came the last twist. A new memo, dated just days ago, warned UK intelligence agencies that someone in California was still digging, trying to access more royal staff and protocol files. It was Meghan's circle. And in one chilling quote to The Telegraph, an intelligence source said, "When certain codenames are revived, it means the subject is no longer a PR threat. They're a domestic risk." So where does that leave us? A duchess once celebrated for breaking the royal mold now stands accused of orchestrating digital access to a royal child's private records. A palace once obsessed with decorum is now collaborating with international intelligence agencies. And a story that began as gossip has become a global crisis. What happens next? Well, let's just say the palace isn't done yet. Not by a long shot. Isn't done yet. Not by a long shot. Isn't